Sides, and we're back.
Oh,
All right. So now we should be clean. There shouldn't be a delay.
okay. Yeah, there shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be dissonance in the brain being like, I see it moving
That's
before I
right.
hear
That's
it
the
talking. Like,
theory.
what's the problem? Right. I'm sure we created like a different problem, probably.
Oh, we've definitely created another problem. We've always created another problem. Oh, fuck it. Hang on. Yeah, it's my mic picking up because I'm trying to be lazy and play through speakers, but that's all it is. Anyhow, so Will went pick 4. We had Colton pick 1. That was a bit of a bolter. Not
Yeah,
completely
but
unheard of. No,
not a
absolutely not.
terrible pick at all. Like by no measure. Like let's take a look. Let me pop over there. That's the wrong. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Like number 7 score. Like
Oh,
it's a
completely. No,
justified
he
pick
was
in
a
my
good pick.
mind.
It's just a little bit left to center. Not everyone was thinking about it, which is shows that Kaitos has been putting a bit of thought into his picks. And
Well, like it's. Plus, he knows him. It's better to hang around. Like it's
and I
better to
mean
hang around with your
we
mates.
cannot talk about the draft without Liosko picks Swiss. My terrible ace impersonation.
See, if you go back and watch the VOD, like everyone knew he was picking Swiss. That's why when he actually picked Swiss, everyone started
they,
laughing
they,
because everyone knew
they
he was
all thought it
coming.
was just coming.
Because that's all we did for like the whole week leading up to. He's just gonna pick Swiss, and then I don't know what he's gonna do after that. And then he picked Swiss. Then he got to his second pick, and he was like, "Who else is left?" I was like, "I don't know who to pick. Who's left?" So it's like, yeah, he's
Yep,
following the
got
playbook.
Swiss.
Yes,
All right,
yes, yes.
done. And I don't know, going a bit deeper down, who did you think drafted well overall?
Um, I
Yep,
really think Samo did really
yep.
well.
Lake
Like
Demon in
picking
round
up,
3.
yeah, not too shabby.
Yep, bang
Qwerty and
bang.
JD back to back, two two great two great players. Lake Demon could do literally anything
Yep,
at any time, and everyone would be like, "Yep, that's about right." And then uh, getting Fork, way glad he's playing. He's played a lot more than I
yeah.
would have
His deep
thought, so I was
picks have
glad
worked
to
out
have
well.
him
Diner as
around.
well.
Yeah, like his deep picks have hit. That's part of why he's. I mean, they've done so well. It's because his deep picks are they're more like
Yeah,
picks and
yep.
not deep. If you
I mean,
understand what
like,
I
I was
mean.
in Samo's chat the other day. I can't remember which level he was streaming at the time, but I said to him, I I was a round 3 pick. Would you rather have me or Lake Demon? I know who I'd pick.
It's like if it's me or like I'm picking him and not me. I'm gonna pick me.
So yeah, Samo made out pretty well. But I mean, I thought overall most of the teams were pretty well balanced. I thought they at least like on paper going into it before we started seeing everybody and what their motivation levels were. I thought most of the teams were pretty well balanced. Another one that stood out to me was another pick that stood out to me was Cytosis pulling Expert Gamer out from the dinosaur age and into relevancy.
He did, and not only did he pick him, he brought the fossil fuel with him.
He's
He
still
was posting some times. He was getting in there. He was showing the young kids how to play a level from
yeah.
way back when. So he's definitely into it. I don't know if he got busy or whatnot, but I haven't seen him around lately.
He was running
but
hot.
he definitely contributed.
Running hot in VC for a little while there, from what it looked like, and Pogo kept saying that it was handy having somebody that actually knew the game real well to have that come through. You know, really helpful. So that was a deep pick there by Cytosis.
Yeah, like you said, I think I saw him like the first like week and a half, 2 weeks. He was in their VC like every day with somebody going over, presumably going over something.
Or just hanging out and talking shit. You know what VC is like.
Oh yeah, I've never done that. So.
And just trying to think about any other. It's a few weeks ago now, but any other draft picks that kind of stood out. Anyone who didn't get drafted, or anyone who did get drafted out of left field.
I didn't. I'm sure Ace took him.
Yep.
Because he kind of didn't know what else to do, but second round Ace took Henrik, and like that's a good pick if he played a lot, and he got off to like a hot start, and then I guess he's got busy or bored or something because I haven't seen him around lately.
Came out of the gates really.
He got off to a hot start. So I like that pick. I liked the Happens Golden Vins pick. That was paying off. Let's see what else we got. There's no telling what he's working on in secret, but like I always tell people, like it's League. Antler will deliver something. He'll give you something, and he's chipped in. I don't know how. I don't have a number on it. Let me take a look. But he's played too. Yep. So
been working out.
Yeah, like a respectable 461 for like a deer. That's not very good at communicating because I don't speak deer, but again, contributing.
I don't speak deer either. What's their national language? Is it venison or
Staganese? I guess. That's the best I can come up with. But like you said before, like you never know how it shakes out and how motivated people are, how much they play or how much they can play, and blah blah blah. But on paper, like just about every team like looked good and like looked balanced and had their own like 1 to 2 to sometimes 3 like really strong people, and then covered really well on the back end. So
yeah, on paper
they all looked great.
I mean, to be honest, when I was looking at the teams on paper, I looked at Ace and Leosko's team, like Happy Leosko Airways, and thought that they were the weak team. As just because I hadn't actually thought about it in the sort of style that they were going to play, which is chasing world records rather than daily bonuses, which in some parts kind of working out for them. They're Aces in top 5, top 6 point contributors so far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
6.
he's that strat of going for top tier times, world record times, rather than chasing dailies is certainly useful at some level.
Well, that's what that particular roster like needed to do, and what it was like built to do, because like there's not a lot of like 1-2 second cuts Ace can just get in some random spot and be like, hey guys, here's a little something, you know what I mean? So he's got to do the record thing. Swiss, like record guy. Elu, again, like record guy, even though there's a bit more wiggle room with him. And then if Henrik was still like playing a lot, you'd have Henrik like playing cleanup. Flicker could play cleanup and get records. And then currently, like MW, he could do just about anything. If
you never know what's
turn
on
the game.
MW do.
So,
but Flicker was in. You go.
Listen. At any time, listen. When I see MW is typing in lobby, I know that literally anything could happen. This could be anything. It could be some video. It could be talking shit. It could be like I'm leaving the Discord for a month. It could be anything. So you never know what you can get. I mean, every team needs a good wild card on it. You know what I mean?
Completely. And you've got never know anything about what's going to go on there at all.
No, but that's my guy though. I like the agent of chaos running around. But yeah, no. So you look at that, but if they played that exact style, I know the team's definitely not weak at all. Because even though Henrik slowed down, he's still got over. I'm looking at, he's got almost 1,200. So doing over 1K,
yeah,
like that's respectable.
It's a really good turnout. And I think Flicker was in there in chat saying before that he clutched out the weekly for them the other week when we had the 17 mission weekly, which we'll talk about weeklies later. But that's still a contribution as well.
Oh yeah, I'm really like, we'll get to that, but I'm really liking how the weeklies are turning out and how like hotly contested they are, because you wanted to make them to where like people care and wanted to play for them. So the fact that they are and people aren't just ignoring them, like I know that they're working as intended. So that's
and I mean, looking here, we've got look at these dropped players, Taka and Jez. Like there's some classics.
Yeah. Well, again, Taka shows up randomly with a time or two and
he wasn't a bad pick at the point.
Again, you never always get with Jez. Jez could never speak again, or he could post like whatever in the next 5 minutes. Time. Again, another agent of chaos running around. So he could join Discord again with his 15th account.
Another one for my collection. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting team, at least. Like they're going at it from a different kind of angle than many of the others. But I mean,
yeah, and I hope he kind of did that. I hope he kind of did that intentionally, because surely he would have. If he thought about it at all, he would have to think like, I have to play this one way to win, because it's not likely I could, play like the regular way, because he can't contribute like 99% of people can, unless he just gets records, which is good that boosted up the records like a little bit, so that way it's not just like a waste of time. Because like last year's like a tier 8 was like, it's like 100 now. Like last year's 25. Yeah. Like, so what? You know what I mean? But I hope he kind of loosely thought about it. But judging from the way like he was talking in the draft, it didn't sound like he really had to plan it all, and it just kind of worked out.
Well, Flicker's in chat saying that Ace never contacted him to see if he would play, and didn't really plan on playing too much until he got drafted. So that might give you
might
give you an idea.
That checks out, because I think Flicker actually said like he was kind of like burnout on the idea of League, and he wasn't like crazy interested in going ham or like getting into it deep. But since he got drafted, he was like, as long as I'm here,
you don't gotta, but it fires the competitive fuel within some of us.
Yeah, because that's the good thing, is like people get on a team and they start A, either doing things they would never do, or B, do things that they should have already done but were like putting off. So, but now you have more of just that little bit extra incentive to like push you towards doing it.
But yeah, they're like going back on Happily Osco Airways for a second. They're bloody 10 world record count already, so they're executing on the plan.
Yes, 10 records, 7 untied. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of them, 9 of them by Ace, and Swiss getting the statue 00218. And I know for example that Lou's been playing
Oh,
Mayan Agent. He
135
could
could
post
drop at any point. You wouldn't
135.
be surprised.
I think I think Swiss was playing for maybe it was Crash. I don't remember. I know he's playing for a particular record, and so they're sticking with that plan at least. They're trying to get
And still
they're trying
going
to
for
get the
that.
records pulled down.
And if you go up the top and look at the battle up top, Group Therapy, Oxley State, it's gapped out a bit at the moment as we look at it. Was very, very tight. Like it was
Yeah, it's
PB for
been
PB, back and forth for a little while there.
yeah for about I mean for most of June it was
Yeah,
traded by the day, and slowly but surely GT's may put in a little bit of a gap, and it's slowly widened. Now I think that's because Oxley was getting those every time the gap would come up a little bit. Oxley would like clutch a WR,
yep.
and it would immediately close the gap. So I know Venus was getting super frustrated about that because it seemed like they would pull away, and then what JD
The
posts Cradle
tighten back
33,
up.
and it was
Yep.
right back, and then Samo got the 218 and it was right back, and Lake Demon got something, it was right back. Cordy got something, right back.
Actually, I mean, I was kind of surprised to see Perno make it all the way through to round 2 of draft. So Yender's kind of making out like a bandit there.
Oh, yeah, because speaking of draft, so you look at that, right? So he got
Yeah,
Bans and Perno back to back. Like,
there's some
you
bloody
can't
good picks.
really, you can't really beat that at all. And he went Bans first because he figured that, I guess because he figured Spag's not going to pick Perna. So then so he
Yeah,
got Bans first, and then he got Perna. So that's a that's as good as a 1-2 punch as
yeah,
you're gonna
well,
get
yeah,
as far as
absolutely.
scoring
Really,
goes.
really well made out, like a from the drafts. And I think what we got,
Because you look at it right now. Eunice is 1954, and then Bands and
yeah,
Perna almost have 2,500 each.
yeah, which I mean, that's it's pretty full on. Each of those is well, Bands and Perner are both what top 5 overall, and Yenders can't be that far behind.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
second and third respectively. Only beat out
Yep.
by Will, uh,
Yeah.
the fourth pick. So
So both of them are overachieving relative to pick position.
oh yeah, no, if you had the two of them, like I'm sure Yen is sleeping good at night. He's like, I got nothing. I'm fine. Just go to bed. I got nothing to worry about. I'll let these I'll let these kids just take care of it.
And looking over at Oxley State, we got Samo and QWERTY. I was mildly surprised to see QWERTY go quite early, but he's delivering. Boys doing good.
No, if I were gonna make a sheet, like QWERTY round one, yeah, that would have made total sense to me. It would have made total sense, and he's the fourth highest. He's just slightly under third by a bit of
Yep.
a margin, so it makes sense because QWERTY's got what, 1, 2, 3. Like QWERTY's got 3 records. He's
Yep.
just digging in his heels both games. So, and I know he was playing for. I think he was playing for Depot
Yeah.
23 like the other day.
Well,
So
is it
that
still
could drop at any
it's
time. But
still
that's
depot
that's a little
double?
bit more
It's
annoying.
still depot bonus today, is it, or was that yesterday?
It's today.
I feel like it's
I feel like it's
going on
today.
now. So it is, yeah. It's
Let's
still.
have a
Oh
check.
well,
Yeah, it
so
is. It is here. It's today.
he's got what 4 hours and 11 minutes to clutch out the daily bonus world record. Is there any insane
Yeah.
like last year, if you managed to get a world record on the daily double day, it was fairly insane. Like Samo's 111, for example.
Oh yeah, because last year it would have been it would have been double. Well, you would have gotten the bonus for the tier, and we would have
Yep.
doubled it for the day. So so it would have been
Yeah, it
would have
was
been
pretty
chunky.
beefy, if I remember rightly.
So like a 125 game just morph it into like a 400, whatever monstrosity. which uh, which on I mean, on the one hand I like, but on the other hand, like it's it's not good for like overall balance.
No, it's not at all. I mean, and for the most part, there's not so many world records that you're going to get in a day either. So like, you've got to be.
Not unless you're already really good, or you just happen to be specialized and you're just right there and haven't got
Yeah,
it yet. Or you could I guess you could just try to get a Cradle 33 from scratch
you
for
could. Well,
24 hours, I
JD got
suppose.
Agent 33 on daily a day, I think, as well. So, it, that might not
I'm
be
pretty
from
sure he
scratch, but
did. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it
you know,
was the
dropping
day.
it on the day is pretty handy.
I mean, there's not a better day to drop it if you're going to drop it. Yeah, he did get it on the day. I'm looking right at it.
But yeah, Samo's 111 from last year still kind of stands out as is pretty clutch world record. I think he already had about 50 odd hours in the level, but after 112, but still it happened it dropped on the
Oh,
day.
that was a cook day at work when he was freaking out. I opened it and he didn't click on the end screen for like 12 minutes or however long it was. I was like, dude, come on, like
You
let me
just do
see
not
it.
want the power cut at that point.
No, look, I may have said this before, but I had a dream. I got like some insane time, and watching the cinema as you do, and then like the power just like went off, or like the console crash. It was one of them in the middle of the cinema, and it's like, well, I can't, like, I can't prove it now, I suppose. So I've had an irrational fear of that ever since. So I'm not watching some like minute long cinema if I get some
Yeah, you're
time.
not wrong. Not wrong. Uh,
The defection cinema for 5 is about as long as I'm willing to watch something now, because now that fear's just in the back
if
of
it's
my
longer
head.
than a GoldenEye cinema, then yeah, it's not worth. It's not worth waiting.
No, I don't need that kind of stress in my life if it were to actually happen.
So, working our way through the list, there was a little bit of competition going between the Backstrafe boys, who still have a tier 0 name for me. Like, that's still the breakout hit of the team names.
Oh, but when Kaido posted the thread, I was like, that's straight fire. That
Such
is
a
the
good name.
absolute best.
But no, let's tighten back up again. So Backstrafe Boys and Team Turnip within about 100 odd points, 150 odd points at the moment.
Yeah, they've been chasing them for a minute, so they're having a similar back and forth now, the way Oxley and Group Therapy
Yeah,
were having it.
and I think Backstrafe Boys are looking pretty hot for the weekly, so they might be able to build out a bit more buffer off the back of that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, they look like they seem like they're in top form right now. Like, maybe they could go on a run over this next month, and we'll
And
see what happens. Because they're looking strong right now. At least the past like week and a half, they've
yeah,
been
and I
very
mean
strong.
they're just really consistent as well. Like across the whole team, pretty much everybody's contributing. I mean, a special appearance
Mhm.
by B Down, just dropping in for a week and laying down a lazy 300 points.
can't really I think can't ask for better than that.
It's
Huh?
a super sub here.
You
Come
take
in
what
off
you
the
can
bench,
get.
and you've only got a week. Go hard.
We'll give him sixth man of the year.
I mean, it'd take a lot. It'd take a lot to knock him off for best super sub.
Yeah, because what if because everyone's contributing, but then at
Yeah,
any time, like
you've highlighted Kelly.
Callie could go off and post like 3 times that just don't even seem real. Like he could just untie like Surface One, or again, or get Agent,
Yeah,
complete the sweep.
or who knows? You know, maybe something wacky like a Statue 217. Although he'd want less fails than what he had
exactly.
on 218. That's for sure.
Oh please, yeah, please, please less fails than that, or not don't have 1,000 dupes like he had on S1 SA and Double O or whatever that
Was,
bonkers number I heard was. That's the only time I ever believe that, because you know how most people like, not on purpose, they'll tinker with the number a little bit, just exaggerate it, just a slight amount. But when he said 1,000, I actually
it was
believe
that,
yeah,
and the other one that I believed was what's the one I'm trying to get out? It was Joris's 16 counter when he was going for 15 archives. Because that's sitting there in a spreadsheet. I
believe that one as well. Yeah,
I'll believe that.
I'm sure not only did he document it, I'm sure he could recite you from memory in order. Like he was like, this was a 16.3. This one was 0.5. This one, I bet he could do it in order.
And here I am trying to work my ass off just to get 116.
We all got our own battles. You know what I mean?
Backstrafe boys pretty consistent across the board. I mean, Psychroptic here has been a damn good noob pick at round 4 with 600 odd points as a contribution.
Yep, that's my that's my guy. Retired Tide King forever.
He certainly won the hyped noob battle getting into League was Psychroptic versus Tide King. I think Tide King is trapped in silo jail, so Psychroptic has come out on top.
Well, if you know anything about this man named Mark Russo, you know the silo jail can hold you there for quite some time.
Oh yeah. But pop across and look at Team Turnip. I mean, they as we talked about, BK picked up Will with the carry here somewhat. 2,600 points. He's still up top in terms of contributions.
Listen, BK woke up that morning. He was like, "I'm 4." He was trying to he was writing down on a whiteboard, trying to do some advanced like math, being like, who's the best pick? And then Will fell into his lap like a Christmas present on the 25th. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take that.
And then the rest of his team, apart from who he took a pick 3, was no good. But apart from that, the rest of his team, I thought they were pretty good. Dildonius is a bloody good player, dropping some good times. He's included what was the time? Air Force One Agent 52 within that. And Wotus has got really good potential across Perfect Dark if he's got the time to be able to play. And the Cat, you never know what's going to happen there.
Oh no! What? Hey, if the Cat posts some new strat Ophos sometimes, I may just give him a bonus. Honestly, I may just go on and do it.
Is that a spoiler for next week's weekly?
I might. I mean, we'll talk about that later, but so he's good. Like Dildonius, Dildonius is like that. It's like a landmine player where it's like he's not like out in the open. Sometimes you might forget he's around, but when he'll drop some heat and you'll be, oh yeah, no, that guy's sick. Like Dildonius is great, and like so, Wotus is probably busy with work and what other like 200 other thousand things he's probably doing, but if he sat down in his chair for like a weekend, he'd probably bang out a lot.
He's bloody good. And GE champ again, of course. Yeah, so
Yeah,
bloody impressive little player.
and as long as other people are distracted or like, whatever they call retired these days, then he can hold on to that crown for a while. And like, I have no problem.
How many bonuses? He's still contributed a fair chunk of bonuses.
Yeah, and then I don't know what BK what could have done in G or even PD, but I know he took that job to make some money on the side, and I guess just get out of the house, because let me tell you, like, sitting in the house for 4 months is kind of boring. Yeah. So I'm sure like his point game would probably be like double what it was if he just had complete 100% degen full time.
Plus the man has entered the PD top 10 for the first time, so been chasing some of those times rather than just out and out league stuff. Being chasing top 10,
right? Because he's been playing Airbase P all weekend. If he popped the 202, no one should be surprised.
Yeah, you never know when something like that could happen.
That'd be a healthy like, it's got to be 200 at least. I don't know what tier it says, but it would be a healthy like brick.
What is 202? Tier 3. Tier 3.
It's smart.
So 225.
So that's 225
plus whatever point gain there is. I'm not sure that at that kind of sneaky, squeaky top end there might not be too much point gain to be had. I don't know.
Oh, it'd be less. It'd be about 8, I think. It'd be less than 10. So, but I mean, if I went to every player and it's like, you want 225, they wouldn't turn it down. They'd take it.
And as we go deep through, there's a lot of competition here in this kind of 5th range thing. We've got 3 teams within 30 points of each other, 40 points of each other between Canary Coalition, Project B, and the aforementioned Happily Osco Airways. That's bloody tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're tight, and then Dirty Burger's only 100 off the tail end of that, so they're right in the mix.
Chris Gonsalves coming through with 3 world records so far.
Yeah, and they all 3 have to be
no, you've got a runway secret agent too. Actually,
no, that's right. He has the cheat because he already had the agent one, I think. Oh man, you must love your team if you're gonna play Cradle intentionally.
And I mean, it's cool to see somebody new come in and get those Cradle World records. They're still just a 2-liner, and nobody else has had the, I don't know whether you want to call it the guts or the fortitude or the stupidity to play enough Cradle to get the 33s. But
I mean, that's a healthy cocktail of all that, if we're honest. Because I mean, you kind of have to have a little bit of A and B to pull that off. But I mean, Calais got the sweep, and he's the next person to do it since then. So it's not an easy task, because plenty of people have gotten the 33, sure, but it's magnitude. It's orders of magnitude more irritating and difficult to get it on the other 2. Quite clearly, there's only been 6 of them until Chris, and now he's got it.
Yendis with a very relevant take in chat. The vampire called Irie must have bit Chris G.
Oh no! You just watch his stream, and there's like subliminal messages. Papa's just like, play Cradle. Cradle's great. Play Cradle. Get 33. Like, Cradle's the best level in both games. Just play it. It's the quintessential. And you're just like, all right, dude, I'll just play Cradle. Yeah, you don't know what happened. You're just playing it.
I try not to level shame people, but if Cradle's your first favorite level, then your opinion's entirely wrong.
I mean, I just start hearing white noise when I'm just.
But I say that because I can't do it.
credit where it's due. Hey,
Exactly.
credit where it's due. You've got the 33s. You have no reason to play it again unless you just absolutely want to.
And yeah, Ben, yeah, get wrecked, Diner. So poor Diner's been grinding them for I don't know how many hours, and Chrissy G just comes in and bang, here, have some 33. Have some 33. That's some speed bullying. That's what that is.
Hey man, that's why you just gotta be cool and take it as it comes, roll with the punch. Because someone's always just gonna come in and they'll catch you on the chin, and you just gotta hold that. You know what I mean? So you just gotta tip your hat, and what can you do?
All right. So who else was in that? Was it Dirty Burger was sitting in? No, Project B is the other one I'd missed. Skip through them.
Wow. Well, give a quick shout out to my boy Whiff. Wish I was famous doing work for a Canary Coalition.
Is there
for being a quote old?
Yeah, we've got a few.
Doing fine.
We've got a few of these quote unquote old people coming in. I mean, Deep Darkness has been coming on the bench. I can't even remember who's picked him up.
Yeah, Big D, that's my guy. Let's see, where did he go? Oh yeah, Project B.
Yeah, Project B has picked him up. So he's come in and dropped in. He's only been in a couple of days and already dropped in a couple of dailies. Fresh.
Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, he knows his way around the game quite clearly. So we've been around. He knows what he can do. He's got plenty of stages he can play and improve relatively quickly. So if he's down to play, it's an awesome pick. There was probably when he was around more, there was probably discussion about drafting him outright from the start, which I would have definitely wanted him on. Been looking to pick him up mid round or something like that if he was around and down to play. But I'm glad that he's in it, and I'm glad that Expert and Golden Vins and Whiff and all their players can still jump in and play around.
Yeah,
and contribute.
Absolutely. And I think that and we'll talk about the format later, but I think the current format helps that out a bit too. But I think Kev drafted really well, actually, going back to draft. Thought Coldman at pick 1, But I mean, and Gamer Girl Diarra coming in pretty hot with a 4th round pick. What's it? 575 points all across Goldeneye, doing pretty well. And
yeah, doing really well for just showing up.
Yeah, I don't know.
April, May,
playing.
It hasn't been that long, and she's already deep into it, and she's invested in. She's playing everything and learning and getting into it super fast. It's great.
Her and Cycroptic are probably the 2 new picks off the top of my head for League so far. They've both been really good new entrants.
Absolutely. Let's see. How much does Cycroptic have? So Cycrops is 620. Cycrops is 625 currently, and Dire is 575. So basically
when neither of them's going to drop in your time because they're both using a similar sort of. Neither of them's particularly chasing dailies. They're just going after those those new fresh points, which is a good way to play.
Yeah. I mean, that's great because that's what they really should be doing, just hopping around and getting as much knowledge as possible and figuring it all out.
That's a good way. That's a really good way to learn the game. But I think I haven't looked at all of the 5th round picks, but you've got to say that Aperture Grills with 860 points has got to be a damn good 5th round pick.
Yeah. Listen, when when it's your roommate and you play the same game and you can teach them all the tricks.
It's pretty handy having
it's
a
a
top
good recipe.
5 PD player as your partner. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to the you can open up the spice rack, get out the seasoning salt, and just start cooking.
So yeah, plenty of potential there for them to to keep that battle going in fifth place. And we've had a bit of a chat about Liosco Airways, so we won't interrogate that. And then we're kind of starting to, Dirty Burger, which is Randy's team, they're not all that far behind there either, 3,900. So they could pop right up.
No.
I mean, here's the number one factor that could help them pop up is that the man, the enigma, Mr. P Pounder, has, contributed 746 points so far, which is a decent contribution. But who's not to say that he doesn't have a July in the style that some of those other top 5 players have had a June? There's no... If he decides that he's motivated and wants to play the right kind of levels, there's no reason he can't kind of drop 2,000 league points in July.
Oh no! If he tripled his current score over the next month, I certainly wouldn't be surprised, because he's great, and obviously still a great N64 player, and picked up G really quick, and picked up PD really quick. And I know he's been in love with CIPA lately. He's been trying to get a banger on that, but who's to say he couldn't get that and then in the next week drop like 10, 15 like strong times and just go on a tear? It's definitely in the cards.
He could completely go on a tear and just go mental. So that's...
Yeah, and you've got to like that paired with because Randy's plenty motivated. He's just been playing like a little bit of everything and doing really well. So the two of them could they could tear it up in the back half.
I mean, Randy's in the top 5 individual contributions. So Randy was actually my pick pre-league for the Dirty Burger, or my pick pre-league when I was having a chat with Spicy, because I thought that Randy is a bit of a competitive beast when it comes to league, and I thought he had an early enough pick that he'd be running hot. There's an alternate universe where he picks Will, and between the two of them, that end up with what's that be only 4,800 points, which should be putting them in 5th place just without the rest of the team around them.
Yeah. So
Randy's...
I mean, it was a flip of a coin for that to happen. Yeah. So we almost got that.
And Yenda's pointing out very rightly in chat that Randy's making moves on the PD ranks in total. I'm not sure whether he's top 25 or top 20.
Certainly, let's take a look. He's
27.
He's at 27 right now.
He's 3,900.
So he is, if he gets 94, or let's say 95. If he gets 95 more, which he ostensibly will in this period of time, he'll pass Fletcher, and he'll be 25th. So he's right there in the mix.
He's going to be... That'll be pretty serious moves. And then
you look at the rest of the team, and like Frost Hops, checks in every now and then, kind of quiet, but he's an absolute killer. He could post frigate 22, like something frigate, or some other like insane bullshit.
My moment of realization when I worked out that Frost Hops could just literally do fucking anything that he decided he wanted to do was when he posted the Cradle LTK 33.
That run is so sick. I watch it every now and then because I'm like, it looks amazing. He just super casually just shoots the console, leaves.
It's like, is anybody
incredible
thinking
looking
that he's playing for that time? He's just, here you go, have this, drops this.
No one would have guessed that. And then he did the same thing for the statue LTKs as well, and he's like, all right, well, this kid's amazing. He can just do whatever he wants.
So a couple of the teams that we haven't talked about, we haven't looked at the Sheffield Speed Stars, but I've got to say that Oskari Strandman been doing a really impressive job, particularly considering he's a PAL-only player as well.
Yeah, he's not making Powell look like a huge
No,
a huge disadvantage, really. And I mean, on the whole, like it's kind of overplayed, like how big of a disadvantage it is on a lot of stages. It's really not. But no, SSS Prince, no,
Prince,
good player, doing great. Just getting better by the day. So he's just gonna get. He's good now. He's just gonna
as
get
a
better.
mild aside, I enjoyed the chatter in lobby yesterday where Luke worked out how old Prince actually is.
Yeah, he thought he was. I think he thought he was a boomer, and he's like, no, he's actually like 10. And he's like, what?
Exactly.
So that's crazy. So yeah, Sheffield, like, I mean, I like all
really
these
solid.
people.
This
Really,
is what
like,
I was talking about. Like on paper, this looks like a sick team. You know, MDC, Fletcher, Goodall, Tabor.
Yeah, you have Osei, you have Matu, and you have Fletcher. Like that three head, that could be like fucking crazy. You know, if they were all playing at the same time and doing, you know, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
This is the halftime report, so who knows what's going to happen in the back half?
Right, because Matu could go off for 2K, and I wouldn't bat an eye.
I mean, I think he
not at all. Like not a bit. Fletcher could pull some absolute luck or bullshit like he's known to do. Why would be surprised? Tabor quietly, doing a great job on the back end.
I said that Aperture I thought was a bloody good 5th round pick, but Tabor coming in with 655s, looking pretty solid.
But being an equally strong backhand.
I think MDC, like, don't think he even started playing the game until a couple of weeks into league last year and finished league with 1,200 something points. it was an impressive run last year.
Yeah, and then he seems like he fades in and out for like a couple months, and then he'll come back and post like, you know, something crazy, and then he'll go away, and then he'll come back and do it again. So he's like one of these Haley Comment players who he'll come by and drop some heat and then just leave, and then you never know when he's coming back.
Well, I know he had some
he's coming back.
You know, at the end of last year, that was why he had a break. So it's good that he can actually play.
Right, yeah, that's good. And I know he's busy with I'm not sure where he works or what he does, but I know his workload has increased like lately. So I know that's where he's been for the past like month. So he just kind of checks in when he can.
And just trying to get up the Shadow fucked us. So I thought the contribution of a wine bottle for all of the players. I enjoyed that little bit of shit talk from the man Cytosis.
That was I enjoyed that slideshow. Yeah, I enjoyed the wine bottles.
And Pogo's doing some pretty solid work here.
This right here, this is an example of like you said before, on paper, this looks great, but you know, if people are busy with work
or in Joe's case, feeding their console ramen.
Yeah, you know, same thing. You know what I mean? He never did say what flavor ramen it was. I wouldn't know if it was the chicken or the beef or the shrimp. I need some correspondence on that. So the next time he comes around, I'll have to ask.
We will have to get onto that. And I guess the last.
Or he'll be like, "Oh no, guys, I was walking around. I accidentally tombstone pile drive my console into my bathtub, and now it's all wet."
You think your Uncle Fester taking the N64 into the bath with you?
So that's wild. But but all jokes aside, no, Clauder's great, and he could do great things if he was around. But he seems like he's busy or not motivated or both. Hard to say because I'm not in the man's head.
It's just a video game and something to hang out with.
Right, but you know, Pogo's in it. And he's you know, he's digging in. You know, doing what he can. Putting numbers on the boards, I can respect
definitely. And if you have a jump over and wrap up the look across the teams with the New World Discord. I mean, not surprised at all to see Dr. Light being hyper competitive and contributing 1,000 points, mostly GE. In fact, the man.
Yeah, that's what he said he was going to do. He was gonna mess around and get what he could get, and
the man's
he's
-4
gotten it so
in
far.
PD, so he's not doing much there, but all GE points.
Yeah, but I mean, it's -4. Yeah, he don't look like he's really hurting all that much. I think he'll be all right. And then before, like we said, like Antler, but also in that same vein, Gus. Like these two, you'll always get something out of them. They'll always give you something. And in the case of both of them, like they could give you something crazy. Like
Depot 38.
Gus could post literally whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. That's reasonable. And then of course, deal has to go negative.
Yeah.
That's just part of the deal. You know what I mean? If you can follow that a play on words.
I can pick up what you're putting down. Something like that.
Cut off my jib. Yeah, and then should probably give Spaguta 2K for like the best video like because that shit had me dying. That was
a weekly bonus for the shit talk vids at the start. That and New World Discord one was particularly tasty.
Yeah, I would rank Spaguta's vid first and third. I would give Samo second. Just for the part where he just slammed on the brakes and threw the phone into the floor. Oh man, that's good. But so we've got because again, like it's really good on paper. Like spicy digging in, like doing pretty good for like a new guy. Now I know he's had some stuff come up and he's been busy, so hopefully he's doing really well on the things he needs to do. But when he's around, he's great.
Just I'm looking at the sorted top point owners now, and he's had 12 daily contributions, so been doing pretty well there.
Yeah, definitely in it. Wasn't he got in my ear. Let me know he wasn't a big fan of all those PA levels we got back to back at the start.
Now,
so
is that
I guess I can understand that.
It's just how the cookie crumbles, or like it's a full random generation, or is it so the commissioner being an asshole and pushing the hard levels up front?
I mean, here's the thing, right? I'm a big hard level kind of guy. That's what I like as a as a LTK like kind of dude. So but no, even if I was doing it by design, I wouldn't have put that many on the front end. Well, I had Sharp. I fully randomized it like pre-league, and that's just how it sat.
I was bloody impressed that Investigation Agent came out as a day one PD daily then, because that was like perfect.
Yeah, that was an insane roll. Because if you were doing it intentionally, you'd be like, that would be a level you would want to put like first or something like that, and that just happened to hit like that. Because you look at this week, like we had every war and every frigate
all in the space of like 4 or 5 days.
Like we had all 3 of them, and I would have never done that intentionally. When I saw that, I was dying laughing.
I was reasonably happy with that because it meant that I could play a bit of war and get hot across all 3 difficulties.
What else did I have? Hold on. Let me find the pic. There was another day that I just had to laugh at. Let me pull up the page right now because it wasn't too long ago. Oh yeah, the day it was damn agent and infiltration TA. That shit made me laugh. I was like, man. I was like, you talk about a dichotomy right there, son.
That was definitely some yin and yang. There's not too many players that are going to be able to that are going to want to chase the damn agent daily.
Because it's like, look, I either have 53 or I don't. So it's either A or B. Like I can't do anything there. And then so what's the other one? What's infield PA? He's like, if I don't have J, this might be annoying.
But looking at that sort of top point owners, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Some of the people that have converted daily bonuses. Randy's got 36 in total. QWERTY's got 34. Bands has got 35. Like that's, I think that's basically one a day from all of them. Which,
yeah, if you do the quick math, like that, it basically, well, it's definitely one a day, just from the raw math. But it's right that they are completely in there. And then what? Yendis 29, Colton 27, Hot Colbin 31. Like they're just digging in their heels.
Thought Coleman, and then Samo and Dr. Light down there with lower picks.
I like Ace with the cheeky 2 daily bonus.
Just time those right. So I am liking this kind of breakdown that we've got. It's not just the how many points have you got, but what's the contribution overall to the team and percentage of points by bonus and the PD thing. Something that, you know, I'm surprised that I'm 91%, 92% basically in points gained in PD, but I'm not deep green. I'm like almost in the middle range there somewhere. So it shows you the power of PD in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's strong. There's really no avoiding.
I'm having fun playing all these random new PD levels that are fresh to me though, so it's good doing that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've never seen them before, it can be fun. Just be like, oh, this is like uncharted territory. I'll just run around.
I'm about to give you a platform here to play your own trumpet a little bit. But what are you thinking about how the new daily system is working out compared to say last year?
I mean, I really like obviously, I really like the way it's turning out, and it seems like it's justified itself because you look at all the people. Like, again, you look at the sheet of people who've gotten daily bonus, so people are playing for them, and they're not just. But at the same time, right? People are playing the daily, but they're also just like they're not playing the daily and then just like, all right, I'm done for the day. Stop. No, everyone's playing like all day, and they're playing like this and that. So, because you can still get the bonus. So you take like, for example, take Perna. Like Perna's playing like 10 stages a day, right? And he's PRing on them, but he's still learning them. So he's already played the stage. He's learned it. And then when the daily pops up, he's like, okay, I've played the level. I know what to do. And I've already got a PR. I just need to improve it. So, like, looking at it that way, it's not only is it working as intended, it's working better than I even thought it would. So I think it's great. And it seems like 25 is the right number for it because it's not too low, but it's not also not bullshit.
And there's a bit of chat activity about saying he's learning to post videos as well.
Well, listen, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? He's doing one thing right. We can, we gotta do one thing at a time. We can't focus on the other. He's but a boy. We will train him up. Yeah, so give him some credit now.
But I mean, I have to.
He's making it work.
I have to, expose my bias and say that I'm going to shill for the new daily system. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Like, for example, I'll use my times page because I know that works. But like extraction PA, when that was the daily bonus, I was able to sneak in with a shitty 153, which is worth a total of 9 points. 13 when achieved, and that's a solid 25-point contribution to the team. I'm pretty happy with something like that coming through. I really like how that's working.
Right, yeah. So even though you snuck in at the bell with a a time that you would say, "Oh, it's not good," but you still got paid for it. So that works. And you look at it, from the G perspective. It's like if I already have a PR, right, and I have to cut a second off that, and it turns out that it's really hard. So, but you still get a reward for that. So if you got like Train 105, and it's like, do I really want to play for Train 104?
If you're repo,
Well, now you
the
have like a
answer is
slight
yes.
reason to do it instead of. Well, yeah. I mean, he's playing Train right now. All things considered.
He's either sleeping or playing Train, I think.
But if you're not a Train god, and it's like, I have to work fucking hard, I have to get this, and before it's like, all right, so I'll double your time, I'll double your points for Train. It's like, okay, so I get like, instead of 2, I get 4. Sick. I don't want to work that hard. Do I have to play Train? No. But now it's like, oh, it's a plus 25. That's a decent gain. Because there's almost no level where you'd say like the 25 is not worth it to play. There's almost no level that you'd say that about.
I really, really, really like the current daily systems. So,
because if you had like Silo 101, it's like, well, I love Silo, and I could do that, and I could get Silo 100, but I've been putting it off, and it's like, well, this could give me the slight motivation to just play for it and try to get Silo 100.
And chat is kind of chiming in with similar sort of thoughts. So it seems to be that the new weekly system is pretty hot. New daily system is pretty hot. I'm enjoying it, and so is chat.
Yeah, because now you're not fully punished for having a pre-existing PR, which is like the main thing I had an issue with looking at it in isolation, where it's like, well, if you've already got like, I don't know, let's get some random fucking whatever. Let's pull up Surface 1, why not? So I already have what? I have Surface 148. Like, okay, I have to get 147, and that's 3, so I get 6. And before, it's like, so some kid can go from 0 to 70 in PD, and that's like a $140 plus whatever. It's like, nah, dude, that's kind of shit.
And there's a lot of talk about Dr. Light breaking the system, chasing dailies last year, sorry, but it also kind of compelled him to only playing that one level on each day, basically not really going back and playing other levels. Whereas you can this way, if you don't particularly like a level, you can nope out and go back and play something else. You got your 25. Go and hit beast mode on another on another stage.
Yeah, I got my 25 for the day. Do I like the level? Okay, I'll keep playing it. Do I want to come back to it later, or I can go do something else that I'm not punished for doing?
So I think it works on kind of both ends of the scale there at the top end and at the bottom end too. It works out quite well. While we're talking bonuses though, I'm really enjoying most of the weeklies that we've had so far as well. Particularly like the one that really stands out to me so far was the missions one that we had last week. That was I had a lot of fun chasing that. I think BK and I were hanging out in the team turnip Discord, and we weren't even on voice chat. We were just text chatting each other as we're kind of nailing down which of the levels that we're each going to go for and fill in. And I sat there and I played more hours of Frigate 00 than I would care to admit. But I got that completion, and it was pretty cool to chase that one down. That was good fun. I really liked that weekly. But
yeah, because and for that weekly, that was the linchpin one, because like this is the one that could potentially take forever because it's Frigate. So that'd definitely be the one you'd want to get. So if you nail that, then you get that extra like, yes, like it got the hard one out of the way. Like we can
it was our second. It was our second last one too. So BK clutched out a control essay run to complete us the 17. But I think it was great fun chasing all this kind of stuff. Just it's same as the kind of same concept as the daily. I think you're just kind of trying to increment your PBs in some of this stuff by 1 second. Which actually, I'm
Right.
still like my
So
it might be my closest to an epic gamer moment was waiting at the bottom of the bridge to enter the boat just at the right time at 1:15.9. Like it's still getting me buzzed just thinking about it because no way on screen. I was fucking oh, I'm feeling pretty hot just thinking about that. And it's just for a lazy. I don't even know how many points 1:15 is worth.
you're just like, I don't care, I got it.
I'll tell you
Like,
what it was worth to me. It was
about
worth 250 points for the league team for the weekly. That's what it was really worth.
Yeah. You're just like, it was
So,
all worth it in the end.
that was a really cool weekly. But I mean, the current week, like I think I saw you say in chat, that the Regicide one last year was one of the best. Oh, actually, I've got it before I move on. Yes, I do have to comment on what chat said. The Samo streaming attack ship agent runs. Amazing.
That was
What
powerful.
reason is Samo ever going to have to play attack ship agent ever again?
What? I was so sad I was at work because I can't enjoy this to the level I want to, because this is content. This is powerful.
It was such a fun stream. Like it was one of those Samo streams where you watch it and you're like, I'm not sure I should be watching it. It's like a window into this man's soul. It's like it's like it's a little bit too personal, and I'm not sure I should actually be watching it. It was like the Runway Agent 22 stream last year where he just couldn't even open the door, and he just an hour after hour, and you just saw the death in his eyes, But the attack ship stream was great fun because you knew he knew he had to get it for the weekly. Because
yeah, he had no.
Well, I mean, can you ask Blake Demon to go and improve his attack ship times by 1 second?
Might be a bit. Might be all kind of tough, So it was great because the little things that annoy the people that play it all the time, like you shoot the baller and it goes to this little crack on the console and it doesn't look real, but it just goes right through and you're like, oh damn. But for him, it's like the worst thing that's ever happened, and it's tearing him up. He can't take it.
So yeah, that was pretty good. I think Cycroptic came in pretty hot with a late Frigate Agent 24 as well for that weekly. Didn't quite work out for the Backstrafe boys, but yeah, there's some cool stuff to get that weekly chase down.
Yeah, no, he came in with he tried to like secure the bag. They got close.
And then
he did. So with the weeklies, right? So the idea was to make more interesting ones, but also make like more like team centric play. So I wanted to make come up with ideas where it's more like, okay, how can we give like a whole team where it's like a whole team has to accomplish like a certain goal, or do we have which team can get the most of these? Because before it's just like, oh well, I'll give you like, we'll just give you a bit of a bonus if you just complete like an agent level like all week. So it's like, yeah, I get that, but that's kind of dull and not as exciting, and it's also like it's easy, yeah, but it's not as enjoyable, like you said. I don't think is like that big checklist where it's like, okay, you do this, and I've got to go over here, and you'll do this, and like then we can circle back and see which where we get, and then can I get this level? You get this level. You know what I mean? You have to communicate and put some like thought behind it. So
you have to plan out who's going to get what, and if that means Samo's got to get attack ship run, that means Samo's got to get an attack ship run to get you 17 out of 17.
Right. So I was talking to I got ideas from Guinness and a couple other people because I wanted a big list of like ideas, and then I try to chip it down to like the best 9 um, for the actual league, and then I just kind of modified them up the best I see fit. Because for example, like so, Yindis actually came up with the idea for the one where everyone completes like missions according to the lore. But then it was my idea to put in the wrinkle where it's like, okay, everyone can only get 5 of these times because then
You can't have full carry.
one person can't carry the day. Right. So I put in things like that, and then I looked at the former ones, and it's like, which ones would any of these be good to bring back? And like, we brought back the Captain Bach one because a bunch of people told me that was their favorite from last year. So I was like, well, everyone liked it, just keep it. Let's keep that on side. But I wanted to avoid the ones where it's like, I'll do all G levels or all SA levels. Like, I would use them if I had no choice, but I was like, we can come up with something better out to use, I think. So we'll give that a shot. And like I said, everyone's liked almost all of them so far.
I'm trying to think what the earlier ones were. We got Regicide this week. Last week was the missions.
So the first one was team that gets the most like
that's
the most
a good first week one to build up some hype.
The first one, and then last 24 times was nice. the next one after that. And then the one that converting NAs and zeros into
points.
What I really
like is
one.
That and the mission one going before the Regicide one, because it's encouraged all these captains to play for low end point times and fill out their times pages, and then bang, here comes the Regicide.
Yeah, well, someone must have knew what they were doing when they came out with that. But I like that one. I like the Led into Goal one because I sat there for a while. I was like, because I like the SDES thing, and I was trying to figure out like what's the best way I could turn that into a weekly, and like looking at it, where I was like, okay, like we'll do whoever kills the most like times, and it's like, no, it doesn't really work because that's kind of awkward and it's hard to like blah 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 blah. And then that was so looking at it the other way, like turning the zeros and NAs into points, like from that way, that was the best way I could come up with to like make it work.
And SDES, thank you for your contribution. I think early in that chat that I had with Spicy before League, I said that we'd take 60 seconds off the pointless time in Perfect Dark and 15 seconds off GoldenEye. I think we're bloody might come close to doing most of that, maybe even more.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many have been cut since the start of the league, but it's been a healthy amount because I see it the server light up.
The band's bot only picks it up when there's a video posted, but there's certainly been a few times knocked off.
And then we've got excuse me. Cool. So we're halfway, and we've had all that, and we've got another half of fun to go. So there's no telling.
You want to give any spoilers
in the next month?
Oh,
I actually do.
Take the microphone, Mr. Commissioner.
Oh, well, it's burning my throat. I'm actually going to pre-announce the next weekly right now if I'm not choked to death. Because I think this will be a fun one. This is the most experimental. This is the most experimental weekly.
So is it good to give it a bit of explanation?
I had yeah, this one's going to require a bit of explanation. Like nothing wild, but it's going to be a bit of.
Right, well, I spent one of the albums I listened to yesterday was Frank Zappa, so I'm ready for a bit of experimental.
There we go. Yeah, get a little weird with it. So this level, well, not this level. Jesus Christ. This weekly is going to just a shout out to everybody in lobby who's ever spammed this and never done what it says. But the next weekly is going to be what of the day. So at the start of the day, we're going to type exclamation point what, and whatever it spits out, regardless of your PR history, you can play the level, and whichever team has the best time gets first for that day. And I don't care what it spits out. That's what you're playing. I don't care if it's LTK. I don't care if it's DLTK. I don't care if it's Turbo. I don't care if it's LTK Turbo.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Oh, we're going to be playing some random stuff.
And so here's how it's going to work.
Chat is lighting up, by the way, if you don't have it, and they're fucking loving it.
I see him. So
yeah, I almost.
So everyone can play the level that day, right? But whatever your best time is, that's what we're gonna count for that day. So each player can only play one day. So if it were to come out like Attack Ship PA Monday, and you're like your best player plays it and gets that, well, he can't play Tuesday no matter what it is. Can't play Wednesday. Can't play Thursday. So whatever your best time is, you need to figure that out because it's going to be like a team thing. Again,
yeah, that's a good layer of complexity. I like this. This is good. So it means you can't just have Ace into Beast mode for Leosco Airways, for example.
No, and here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so for that, whatever it spits out, 100 for first, 50 for second, 25 for third.
So that's
and I'm paying that out every single day. So that's 700 on the table.
That's a healthy weekly.
Now, can anybody get it? Can anybody get in touch with Wilder and get him to boot up Booter again? Because it's dead and I cannot get all of him, and I really need that
there's
bot.
A call out to chat. We need that, or we might have to have a chat to our friend Bands and see if he can spin something up for us because he's got one running in SDS. He's got a Watt command running.
Yeah, I have that.
It does not, no.
But it doesn't have turbo. Is the only issue. So that's the only wrinkle it doesn't have.
We'll just make them all turbo. Everybody's playing turbo for the week.
Now, when I made the weekly, Booter was up for months and months, never had an issue. As soon as League started going down all the time. So I was like, great. Of course it did.
How do we play turbo, Sean? There's the cheat. You got to go and unlock it. I actually don't know if I've got turbo on PD. Is there turbo on PD? I assume that there is. Slow-mo.
It's slow-mo on PD. There is no turbo on PD. I actually did that one day. I woke up and I was like, I'll get some meme time on a PD turbo. And then I woke up and looked and I was like, oh, there's no turbo. I was like, oh shit. I guess that's why I've never done it.
Yeah, that's a fun weekly. So in summary, it's you play whatever the bot's telling us to, and the fastest, regardless of PR history, fastest time for each team that day gets 150 and 25, and only one player can contribute a time per week.
Yeah, correct. Well, except for the last day, because there's 7 days and 6 people, so we'll reset it for the last day.
Perfectly reasonable.
So, do what we can. I just really need like I have the other bot that I'll use, but it would be nice to have Booter away for the turbo option because I like that wrinkle. Now, there's only I'm not gonna. If I get trainer silo or attach DLTK, I'll probably re-roll it. Honestly, but everything else, everything else,
I
I'd
think
let
that
it
seems
rock.
very reasonable.
Everything else should be like fine. This is like if it streaks DLTK, like deal with it. And I may not even re-roll those 3, but I would consider it.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean? But I haven't
how many
made up
hours
my
did
mind
Icy
on
have
that,
in
really.
Silo DLTK to get his last completion, 100 odd, something like that?
Did he say? I know he posted like a long
I'm
post
not
about
sure.
it, but I
Maybe
don't know
I'm
how
making
many
that
hours
up
he
then.
said.
But it was a healthy post on DLTK solo completion.
As ever, as usual, and I appreciate all those healthy posts.
Sean's asking when are we going to have a pinball mode weekly? I mean,
oh man, if the bot had pinball mode, that'd be
maybe
crazy.
we can ask for an upgrade to Buddha, add in pinball mode.
Add in pinball mode, yeah. Can you put in pinball mode and also
Aztec pinball
turn the bot
mode
on, please? that'd be hysterical, actually. Then does he get pinball mode and just like get shot through the glass or something? I feel like that happened.
All right, so I'm getting ready to start wrapping things up, mate. But is there any other things that have stood out to you from the first half of League that you want to share that we haven't talked about yet? Oh yeah, line mode PBs. We need line mode in the bot.
Obviously, not everyone has a just pause, put in the code real quick. Line mode, that'd be crazy. That'd be nuts. Let's see where team is. I can't find it. Where's Oxley State? Just really quick, like Demon Deep Sea PA 302. You're nuts. That's wild. Just mainly, I'm really glad that with this crop of teams and people and the changes, like everyone's engaged and like not everyone's like falling off. Where it's like even the people they look up at Oxley and GT and they're like, oh, they're 2K up, but like it's not bothering them. They don't care. They're just still grinding it out and playing. And I'm really liking the levels of activity. So I think I think everything so far has been a success, and I'm really enjoying it.
Healthy vibes around the whole thing. It's there's no toxic levels of competitiveness. It's just a fun bit of friendly competition.
Well, there's none of that because Dr. Light got nerds.
That's what's happened. But I don't have anything else. I'll let anybody pop questions in chat for a minute or so before we wrap things up properly.
Yeah, I'll take any kind of questions, any kind of thoughts, or
a few things. Sean has or Soraya has definitely been doing a fair bit of coaching over in the Outer Haven VC. I've got some pretty hot tips over there. Psychroptic making a big call out for our boy Cytosis, the leader of Shadow Fuctus on the front lines fighting COVID, being a doc.
Yeah, that's my boy. He grinding out in his own hospital for sure.
Being a real lad, helping us all out. But Jose is saying that if all the weekly levels are GE, he's going to riot. Well, mate, that's just depends what kind of what day that Buddha is having, I guess, if Buddha can come online.
Listen, you're too young, so you haven't been in a casino, but it's all on the roll of the dice, mate. I'm sorry.
I haven't had anybody in chat respond and say that they can reach out to the one Mr. Walter Jansen, whichever you prefer. But
yeah, I popped him a PM I popped him a PM earlier, try to check in with him, but I hadn't heard from him. So he's probably out. If he's out working or playing around with his rabbits, like I'm not mad at him.
I'm sure we
That's
can
fine.
come up with a fancy Google sheet if we need to.
I mean, yeah, there's ways to work. There's ways to work around it. So one way or the other, we'll get it off the ground.
All right. Well, I'll let you get on with your evening. I've got no idea, but thanks for hanging out and having a chat and talking through league stuff.
Oh yeah, no man, it's been great as it ever was, man. Just great every time. So we'll check in for a wrap up at the end, I'm sure.
So let's check in for a wrap up, and we will. What do we got? 3 hours basically until this new weekly kicks in. So that should be good fun when that happens.
Yeah, hopefully something completely bullshit gets spit out.
Same.
I'd be more than okay with
it. I really
that.
hope that it's something completely and utterly fucked us that comes.
Like I hope it's like COVID Streets the LTK or something bonkers. It's like, all right, go.
Right, so who do we have? We've got Hugo Test is the one streaming GoldenEye.
Oh man, my guy.
Our speed law legend, Hugo Test. And we don't have anybody playing, don't have anybody streaming GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. Who have we got? So I don't have anybody to kick the host over to. We can...
You could, I mean, looking at my list, you could... There's this little known stream I like watching called Darby, and that's
not too bad. I've got him on my list too, so we might.
Kind of tired.
He's a pretty good guy.
And he's back. He's back too, which he's had a reasonably healthy break.
He's back.
So we might wrap things up.
Hold on. Is that right? No. Yeah, throw it to my guy, Mr. Blind Speedrunning.
I don't have him on my follower list. Is he playing? That's why
he's playing Mario Kart, but that's not the point.
All right, let's throw you guys over that way. But thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll catch you all later.
See ya.